Hey, how's it going, folks? Well, we just finished up WWE Fastlane, and it was actually a decent show. I expected to see a show that wasn't as good as it actually was, to be completely honest with you. I actually didn't mind it. I did find that it did go a little bit longer than I thought it was going to go, but yeah, it was pretty good. Um, so let's see here. Who's in the chat here? What's up, Jose? What's up? It's Jeffrey. Um, what's up, Abel? Suro Deep. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Emmanuel? How you doing? Um, Definitely gonna give you my thoughts on the matches. Pro wrestling news. You know what I mean? Like, if Dean turned on the Shield, that would have been, I don't know. I think they just had the moment there. If they were going to do that, I kind of wanted to see it, not tonight, but it was a nice moment at the end. Overall, I thought WWE Fastlane was a decent pay-per-view. It's considered a B-level pay-per-view, and I thought it was good for a B-level pay-per-view, so I was quite pleased with it. I do feel that with some of the surprises they had throughout the night, that it really kept you on your toes. So that was something that I did enjoy, although some of it really made no sense. The stuff with Kofi Kingston made no sense, the way Vince McMahon talked about it in the backstage scene. Obviously, we know why they held Kofi from the match tonight, obviously to give him more of the underdog feel once it does come into WrestleMania. We do know that the current plan is to have Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Just how they will get there, obviously, we will find out, hopefully starting this Tuesday, as WrestleMania is coming up very, very soon. It's just a few weeks away here now, and we don't have the entire match card quite yet. So I'm going to go over the card here and talk about some of the matches that did go down, starting with the show on the pre-show. The match on the pre-show. We had the New Day versus Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. It was an average match, something that you would see on SmackDown, something like that. Joe Decker, you know what? I was actually with my wife watching, and I'm like, it looks like right here Shane's going to turn on him. It just makes sense for Shane to turn on him. It'll set up a match between the two of them now at WrestleMania. The first match on the pre-show, we did have New Day and Rusev versus Shinsuke. New Day versus Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. It was an average match, nothing too special. We ended up getting the New Day defeating Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. The first match on the actual show was for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. We had the Usos versus The Miz and Shane McMahon. This was actually a pretty decent match. At times I was thinking to myself, Shane, why are you still wrestling? The one spot where they did have Shane, he was going to do a coast to coast, and then I believe it was Jimmy Uso was on the other side of the ring, and they both basically collided. That was like one of like the big pops of the night as far as in that match. It was pretty good. Jose Martinez, I didn't watch this show, saw some stuff on Instagram. Did the Shield have their match? Yes, the Shield did have their match. It was in the main event. They had one of those nice bittersweet endings with all three of them in the ring. It was a nice moment, obviously something for them to show over and over again. Do you think they didn't have Dean turn because he may have signed a new contract, or was this just to give them their last moment? You know what? Things were acting a little fishy there. The amount of times that Michael Cole was reminding us that Dean Ambrose is leaving the WWE, it started to feel very contrived, very weird, very fishy. Last reports do state that Dean Ambrose is in fact leaving. I'm not 100% sure why Michael Cole, just continues to, throw that out there. He is leaving. So that I found kind of interesting. But besides the fact it was, a great last moment for the Shield, if this is in fact their last moment as a group in the WWE, or last match, something like that. As far as the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match with the Usos, they ended up defeating The Miz and Shane McMahon afterwards. Shane McMahon did attack The Miz, and then he also pretty much attacked The Miz's dad. He beat up The Miz right in front of his dad, right in front of the hometown crowd in Cleveland. So that was a nice little thing there, with Shane now turning. They can obviously set up a match between Shane McMahon and The Miz at WrestleMania. Daniel Lopez, why no 10 count in the main event? If you're talking about when all hell basically is breaking loose here, everybody's outside the ring. Let's talk like storyline wise, kayfabe wise. It's at the referee's discretion at that point whether or not he's going to now do the 10 count. Obviously, since everything, all hell was broken loose, he took it into his own discretion not to do the 10 count to count people out. Obviously, at first, he did have a 10 count, but then once all hell broke loose, it was up to the ref's discretion to continue the match, because obviously that's what the fans want to see, and if anybody ever said anything, that's the reasoning the WWE would give. Miz has been a good heel for a long time. He needs to have at least one good face run, and Shane will be awesome as a heel. Figured, can't wait for their match at WrestleMania. What's up, Anthony? What's up, Forget Life? You know what? It's going to be cool to see them go at it at WrestleMania while Shane is the heel. He is part of the McMahon family, so it'll be nice to see him as one of the corporate McMahon heel types going into WrestleMania. And Miz, it's starting to grow on people, him as a face, so it'll be interesting to see. Next match, the match with the Usos versus The Miz and Shane, I'm going to give that a B as far as the grade goes. I thought it was a pretty good match. Then we had the SmackDown Women's Championship match, Asuka versus Mandy Rose. I wasn't really feeling this match, to be completely honest with you. Asuka ended up winning after a stiff kick to the chin. It was really a nothing match for me. I want to say it was maybe a D level match for me. Nothing too great. Afterwards, we did see a little bit of heat between Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose as they did, as Mandy did go back to the dressing room as they were on the ramp. So I would grade that a D as far as that match goes. At the beginning, there was a segment where Kofi Kingston was told he needed to go see the McMahon family, and at this point in the card, Kofi is standing outside of Vince McMahon's office, or the McMahon family office, and then the New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods come there and say, hey, what's going on? It's been an hour. And Kofi Kingston says, hey, I've been trying to, get somebody to talk to me. They say, keep on waiting. And then the New Day just barged into the office. Vince is like, hey, Kofi, I've been waiting for you. It's been an hour, which really didn't make much sense considering the fact that Kofi said a few seconds before that he was told to wait. So that really didn't make much sense. And then they said that Kofi should be included in the triple threat match, in the championship match against Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan, but McMahon smiled. He agreed it should be a triple threat match for the WWE title. He said he's going to bar the New Day from ringside, and the match will go on next. But the match that did go on next wasn't that match. Let me get a quick drink here. What's up, James T. Davidson? The match that actually went on next was Kofi Kingston versus The Bar, and the fans were not happy. The ring announcer said, hey, news came. It's now a 2-on-1 handicap match. It's going to be The Bar versus Kofi Kingston. We first thought it was going to be a triple threat for the WWE Championship. Obviously, that was not the case. It is a handicap match where Kofi Kingston actually lost that match. During the match, there was some "this is boring" chants from the crowd. It wasn't anything spectacular. As far as overall the match goes, I want to give it a C. Obviously, it did tell a story that Kofi Kingston is once again getting screwed by the McMahon family. That was the story they wanted to tell. They told that story, and that's basically where it went there. And we now know that Kofi is not in the championship match. And then the next match, we did have the Raw Tag Team Championship match, which was the Revival versus Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus Aleister Black and Ricochet. Let me just go in the chat before I talk about that match real quick. Did you see where Sonya was trying to get the kendo stick? She lifted up the apron and Mandy tripped. Yes, so that's basically like the story they're trying to tell with Sonya and Mandy is that Sonya basically maybe costed her the match. Something happened where now they're getting a little tension between the two. What do you think the storyline of Kofi is going? One of the only times I'm a little unsure of where it will go. Only thing, I think it's maybe a heel turn. Well, basically, the story with Kofi Kingston is that it's going to go where he is actually going to make it to WrestleMania. That's the story. He'll end up facing Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. I'm not 100% sure if he's actually going to win that title. If he does, that would be amazing. But that's where the story is heading. Ben Michael, it was a 7 out of 10 altogether, in my opinion. Much love. By the way, how was Toronto? Besides what you covered and worth the price, please answer. Ben, the show in Toronto was pretty good. As far as if it was worth the price, WWE house shows aren't as cheap as they used to be. I remember when I was a kid, I can go to a house show for like $15-20. Now I'm dropping at least $100 a ticket to go see a house show. So as far as money's worth, I've spent $100 on worse things. So going to a WWE live event, I always have fun. It's always a good time. So I thought it was worth it. I try to go every time they're in town. So Forget Life reminded me of what happened to Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Hope Kofi will be like that and win the title and then turn heel on the New Day. You know what? They could go that route where they do break up the New Day. Kofi is a heel champion. Kofi's on his own. They could definitely go that route. So then we got into the Raw Tag Team Championship match. It was a good match. It was one of my favorite matches of the night. The Revival are awesome. Chad Gable is one of the best wrestlers on that roster. I really enjoy his work. Obviously, Aleister Black and Ricochet are good. The match I saw in Toronto the other day, they went 2 out of 3 falls. It was 45 minutes long. This match right here, excuse me, still getting over this cough, was almost as good. They added, obviously, Aleister Black and Ricochet into the mix. It was a B+ match. We saw the Revival retain the Raw Tag Team Championship. So the Shatter Machine on Gable was the final straw in the match. They got the 1, 2, 3. They got the W. It was a really good match. I want to give it a B+. It was one of my favorite matches of the night. And then a match that was originally supposed to be on the pre-show between Rey Mysterio and Andrade didn't actually happen. They ended up turning it into a United States Championship match on the main show, which did have Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio versus Andrade versus R-Truth. Really, really good match here. It was I want to say an A match. It was one of my favorite matches of the night. It was a lot of action, a lot of good storytelling. R-Truth, there was a couple of sloppy spots on his part, but for the most part, it was a really good match. Excuse me, I'm still getting over my cough here. Ended up, Joe hit Mysterio with a coquina clutch, choked Mysterio out. Mysterio was out. The win, a match. Samoa Joe retained the title. Then we saw, for the women's tag team title, the Boston Hug Connection. They defeated Nia Jax and Tamina. I saw this match in Toronto the other day. It was very similar to the match in Toronto. Nia Jax. I don't know what it is with Nia, but there was one spot where she was supposed to hit a Samoan drop. Totally botched it. I don't dislike Nia Jax, but there's too many things that do happen where Nia Jax just messes up, and I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with her. I didn't like what she was doing during this match. She was super sloppy. I thought there was going to be a few times where Bayley was just going to get hurt. Legit hurt. Nia Jax, still unsafe, I think. The match overall, I want to give it a C. Tamina, I don't mind. She's all right. The ending of the match, Beth Phoenix, who was doing color commentary, she got involved. It ended up Beth Phoenix got beat up by Nia Jax and Tamina, and then Natalya came to make the save. It does look like we're going to get Beth Phoenix and Natalya possibly teaming up at WrestleMania, maybe versus Nia Jax and Tamina, or maybe even a triple threat. Boston Hug versus Nia Jax and Tamina versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya. Now we get on to the WWE Championship. Let me go into the chat real quick. What's up, Lewis? This cough is killing me. I've been sick for like a week. Kofi needs to be champion. It's way overdue. How did you like Fastlane in general? I want to give it a B grade. It was a B. It was a B pay-per-view, B overall. It was good. It was solid. I enjoyed it. I see Dean Ambrose is going to resign. Well, I haven't heard he's resigning quite yet. The story still out there is that he is leaving, but you never know. Thanks for answering my question. One of the reasons I follow is because of the replies. What do you think about Lacey Evans? And this is a ridiculous thing they got with her coming out and walking back. Well, Lacey Evans, that's the story. Everybody now, when they see Lacey Evans, they get upset. They're like, what the hell is she doing? She is getting a reaction. Fans now know who she is. Apparently, she's going to be one of the top stars eventually. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that does play out. As far as a wrestler goes, she still has some work to do. I did see her in a tag match in Toronto the other day. She's okay, nothing special. Don't forget to mention Elias. Elias tonight, same shtick as always. He likes to call out the city he's in. He, at the end of matches, going in, talking about the match before, talking about what happened before. I like that during pay-per-views. I think it's kind of fun where he'll reference back to what happened. So that part right there I did enjoy with Elias. WWE Championship match, we had Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens, and then they stated it's going to be a triple threat. Everybody's chanting, we want Kofi, we want Kofi. Who comes out? Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali, unfortunately, didn't get that great of a response from the crowd. The crowd was not happy that he came out, other than Kofi Kingston. And that's just something that the fans were unhappy about. I don't think that they necessarily didn't like Mustafa. Mustafa was in Kofi's position before Mustafa got that concussion. But now everybody is really invested in Kofi Kingston. And unfortunately, Mustafa's off to the side a bit. They brought him out there. The match overall was amazing. I really enjoyed this match. A match. The Spanish Fly that Mustafa did on Daniel Bryan off the top rope was great. There was like one tornado DDT off the top rope that was amazing. It was just overall an amazing match. I really, really enjoyed it. Daniel Bryan got the win. Mustafa Ali had to eat the pin there, and Daniel Bryan retained the title. That's the way it is. I think it's not the end of Mustafa Ali by any means, but Daniel Bryan did get the win. I think they had to do that to fill any extra time before they had the next match. When do you think Harper will come back, and will he team with Rowan? You know what? I don't know if Harper should actually go with Rowan and Daniel Bryan. I feel he should be on his own. I like Rowan and Daniel Bryan just together on their own. It allows, I think adding one more person might be too much. What do I know though? Maybe it might work, but I just don't like the idea of Harper getting into that picture. Then we have Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. It wasn't a great match at all, due to the fact that Becky Lynch is still selling this knee injury she has. And yeah, I didn't enjoy the match. There was a lot of spots that they just couldn't do because the fact that they're still saying that Becky Lynch is injured. So I want to say it was like a D match. Nothing great. At the end, Ronda Rousey comes out, causes disqualification. Becky Lynch is now in WrestleMania main event. Becky Lynch versus Ronda versus Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship. Let me see here. Daniel Bryan's title is falling apart. You know what? I didn't notice that, but I believe it. It doesn't seem that sturdy. What about Lars Sullivan? Lars Sullivan's still on a leave of absence. So he's not ready quite yet. Last match, we had the Shield reunion versus Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. Great match. I really do apologize for my cough, guys. It's something that caused me not to make videos for almost a week, but I thought I would try this live stream. I don't think that it's helping all the talking I'm doing, but bear with me. I do apologize. The Shield match was great. It was fantastic. I want to give it a B+. Classic Shield. Baron Corbin's really growing on to me. Bobby Lashley, I've always been a fan. And Drew McIntyre, he looks like $1 million. So I think that they've really developed those three guys as heels really, really nicely. So I'm happy for the Shield's final hurrah. They kept on mentioning that that Dean Ambrose is leaving, which made things a little bit weird. It just seemed a little like the way Michael Cole was saying it. It seemed kind of fake, but I don't know. Maybe, they're saying to him, just keep on saying it. The word is still that Dean Ambrose is leaving. The stuff that the match, Ronda Rousey is a heel. The stuff where the Shield were out in the audience and they're fighting, I really loved it. The brawls were cool. Roman Reigns looked great out there. Overall, an A match. I really enjoyed it. One with the triple powerbomb, and that was the pay-per-view. What's your take on old school hardcore title matches and backstage brawls? Used to be some of my favorites. I think they should bring them back. JLR84, sorry, man. I don't know. What do you think is going to happen with Bray Wyatt? Bray Wyatt is still... They have nothing for him. I believe he is okay to go now, but they just don't have anything for him quite yet. I don't know why Mr. McMahon's decisions for Owens to steal Kofi's chances for WWE titles, but I do think that he deserves everything. Obviously, it's for them to build up Kofi as more of an underdog, and Kofi's going to get that championship match at WrestleMania. But that was Fastlane. Before I die here on stream with this crazy cough I still have, I just want to thank everyone who has been supporting the channel, supporting the videos. I overall give Fastlane a B grade overall, so I do appreciate everything. As always, at Heal by Nature YT on Twitter and Instagram, healbynature.com, and make sure you subscribe, DDT that like button, click notifications, and all that good stuff. As always, thank you, and I do appreciate it. Good night.